Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Khanifah. I'm from D class. Today I will analyze the phonological rules in this video. The phonological rules, there are assimilation, dilation, similitude, intrusion, falling intonation, rising intonation, word stress, and etc. So let's check it out.
Good evening and thanks for joining us as we long for an end to the stranglehold this virus has on the world. There's a sobering reality check tonight on how much we still don't know about COVID.
So here the presenters, where the presenter says how much we still don't know about COVID-19. In this statement, the presenter say the word don't know become don't know. There is a dilation in this word. Don't become don't. So the N sound is almost elided and the T sound also almost elided or known or didn't pronounce it. And there is word stressing when she say possible. Also there is similitude in the word COVID. The word COVID, the C sound is same like the K sound.
19. The World Health Organization says it's possible it could be years before it's
So when she said possible is word stressing. So next,
under control, and we may have to learn to live with it. More on that in just a moment. The best case scenario is a safe, effective vaccine that's made available to everyone. That doesn't exist yet, but Health Canada did announce other progress today. It has approved the first serological test in Canada, a test for antibodies to determine who has been exposed to COVID-19 and who could possibly be immune. That in just a moment. The best case scenario is a organization says it's possible.
so
It could be years before it's under control, and we may have to learn to live with.
when she said World Health Organization says it's possible it could be years. There is word stressing when she said possible, and also there is rising action when the presenter said years. And when the presenter says it, there is a dilation in the sound T become says it, so the T sound is elided.
More on that in just a moment. The best case scenario is a safe, effective vaccine that's made available to everyone. That doesn't exist yet, but Health Canada did announce other progress today. It has approved the first serological test in Canada, a test for antibodies to determine who has been exposed to COVID-19 and who could possibly be immune. The best case scenario is a safe.
So when she said the base case, there is word stressing the base case, and also there is similitude in the word case because the C sounds pronounced like the K sounds.
Effective vaccine that's made available to everyone. That doesn't exist yet, but Health Canada did announce other progress today. It has approved the first serological test in Canada, a test for antibodies to determine who has been exposed to COVID-19.
And then when she said but Health Canada, there is rising action when she said Health Canada. And also there is word stressing when she said exposed and possibly.
And who could possibly be immune.
So look at that, possibly and exposed. There is word stressing on that.
This is a critical step for the work of the COVID-19 immunity.
antibodies to determine who has been exposed to COVID-19 and who could possibly be immune.
And also, when she said be immune, that is falling action and intrusion at the same time. Be immune sounds like falling action. Be immune. And there is intrusion. When the native said immune, there is intrusion, the Y sound after the M sound. So it's not pronounced immune, but immune. So there is Y sound in the middle of it, because it sounds better like that.
This is a critical step for the work of the COVID-19.
And when the man says this is critical step for the work COVID-19, there is word stressing in the word step, and also there is similarity in the word critical. The C sound pronounced like the K sound.
Immunity Task Force. These tests will help us better understand immunity against the virus and how it spreads, so we can keep Canadians safe and healthy.
This is not the swab test to find out if you have an...
So when the presenters said this is not the swab test, there is word stressing on that. The word swab is word stressing.
active case of COVID-19, it's a blood test to detect antibodies, which would reveal if you've been...
So when the presenter said reveal is a word stressing. Oh, no, it's the rising action.
infected in the past, perhaps without any...
And when she said the past is a word stressing.
symptoms. Here's why that's important. There are now more than 72,000...
And here there is deletion in the word important. The native didn't pronounce the T sounds, so it became important. Not important, but important.
confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Canada. Those account for the people tested. It doesn't account for the... Here's why that's important. There are now more than 72,000 confirmed cases of COVID.
So when the presenters said confirmed, the T sound is elided, so it's a deletion. It's a deletions. So it become pronounced like confirmed.
19 in Canada.
And there is a rise fall intonation when she said Canada. Ca is the rise intonation and nada is fall intonations.
Those account for the people tested. It doesn't
There is word stressing also again in the word tested.
account for those who had the virus but showed few or no symptoms and were never tested. So we still don't know how prevalent the virus is in society, nor do we...
There is rise fall intonation again in the word society. So the society is society. The society is rise and then society is fall intonation.
know how many people might be immune to it. Without that, it's difficult to know where restrictions can be safely
There is also again word stressing in the word restrictions.
lifted. There's still a great deal we don't know. Heather Urix West explains how this newly approved test works, and
And there is also word stressing when she said approved.
questions it might help answer.
The company behind the first COVID-19 serology test approved for use in Canada is from one of the first countries to be hit hard by COVID.
Also, there is word stressing again in the word hard when she said hit hard.
19.
The fact that Italy unfortunately have over 30,000 dead people from this really devastating pandemic, gave us the opportunity to very quickly have clinical samples and develop a very good assay.
When he said the word clinical, there is a similitude because the C sound sounds like the K sounds. Clinical.
The blood test was approved for use in Europe and the US at the end of April.
And here again there is word stressing when the reporters said US. US.
The company says it's now shipping kits worldwide. It plans to produce
And again word stressing again when she said worldwide. Worldwide.
5 million this month, 10 million in June.
I can tell you that
Also, when she said 5 million in this month, 5 million in this month, 10 million in June, it's a rise fall intonation because 5 million in this month is a rise intonation, and then 10 million in June. So the word 5 is rise, and the word June is fall intonation.
10 million per month, which sounds like a huge number, it's a fraction.
Also, when there is a simulation when the man said huge, because he said huge, so the H sound become pronounced like huge, like Y sounds huge, not huge but huge, and the native usually says like that, and it sounds better like that.
What countries are looking for.
Having an effective serological test is vital, especially as businesses start to look at reopening, because knowing who has already had this virus could help public health officials determine who may be immune to future infections. Problem is, we still don't know enough about this virus to be sure.
And there are also words stressing when the man said it's a fraction, and there is a simulation here in the word future. The T sound pronounced is become Ch sound, so not future but future, so the T sound becomes Ch sound. Future. And also there is deletion of in the word sure. The E sound is elided, so it's not sure but sure, so the E sound is deleted.
Your presence of antibodies alone does not mean we are protected, and we shouldn't be using this as a green light to say that we.
And here when the man said green light, the word light is a deletion because they didn't spell the G and the H sounds, so it's
We are fully immune to the virus.
To be sure.
The mere presence of antibodies alone does not mean we are protected, and we shouldn't be using this as a green light to.
So here when the man said green light, the word light is a deletion because they didn't spell the G and the H sounds, so it's become light, so the G and the H sound is elided.
Say that we are fully immune to the virus.
We have
When the man said feel fully immune to the virus is fall intonation, so he said like fully immune to the virus, so it's like rise and then fall intonations.
To study the immunology, the immune response to the virus at the same time. And then we can interpret the.
Here, the woman said we can interpret it's a rise fall intonation because interpret, so it's like rise and then fall at the same time.
Tests as to what they mean for an individual.
For now, Dr. Teresa Tam sees the new test as a research tool, a way to learn more about how the virus behaves. It will also be used to determine how many Canadians may have been infected during.
Here again, there is a word tracing in the word infected. Infected.
This first wave.
The approach that we're taking in Canada is to use these tests, first of all, in the context of.
So here, when she said, first of all, there is a dilution of the L sound. The L sound is elided or didn't pronounce, so it becomes first of all.
Population studies.
This is a fantastic tool. This is going to provide a
Here, when the man said fantastic is the word stressing.
lot of insight, but this is not, at this point, a gateway to know who's full.
When the man said inside is a dilution because the native didn't spell the G and the H sounds, so it's pronounced become inside. The G and the H sound is elided.
Protected and safe to go back to work with no other precautions.
So while something like an immune.
When the man said gateway and precautions, when the man said gateway, the T sound is elided, so it's a dilution. And when the man said precautions, that is assimilation, because the T sounds in percussions pronounced become sh sounds, percussions, and also that is assimilated in the C sounds become K sounds, percussions.
Got a lot of insight, but this is not, at this point, a gateway to know who's fully protected and safe to go back to work with no other precautions.
So while something like an immunity passport may not be here yet, it is getting closer, and the approval of this test is an important.
There is word stressing again in the word when she said test.
Step. Heather, UX West Global News, Calgary.
Now to the hard reality check from the World Health Organization today.
Then, when the reporter said, there is something unique here. When the reporter said, here York says Global New Calgary, there is dilution in the word Yorks, so the E sounds is elided, and also the word West. The W sounds almost elided here, so she spelled like so fast, like Heather Yorks as Global New Calgary. And also there's dilution when the reporters spell check. The word check is a dilution when the C sounds in the middle of the word didn't pronounce.
Dr. Mike Ryan, an epidemiologist and head of the emergencies program, says COVID-19 may be with us for years. There is still so much we don't understand about the virus, and he says no one can make promises or.
That is word stressing again when she said no one.
Or give firm dates on when it will no longer be public enemy number.
So when she said dates is a dilution because dates, the T sound is almost elided or is almost didn't pronounce, and also there is similitude in the word public. The C sounds become pronounced like K sounds.
One.
And I think it's important to put this on the table. This virus may become just another endemic virus in our communities, and this virus may never go away. HIV.
So when the native usually pronounce go, there is intrusion in the word go away, go. So when we say go, we know that there are W sounds in the middle of it, so it's become go away, go, go. So there is W sounds. You can practice.
V has not gone away, but we've come to terms with the virus, and we have found the therapies and we've found the prevention methods. And I'm not comparing the two diseases, but I think it is important that we're realistic. And I don't think anyone can predict when or if this disease will disappear. We do.
So there is deletion when he said disappear. The R sounds is almost elated.
One great hope. If we do find a highly effective vaccine that we can
So here there is a deletion again when he said highly, highly. The G and the H sound is elated or didn't pronounce, and also so it's become pronounced like highly, highly. And also the word vaccine is assimilation because when the C sounds become pronounced like S sounds. Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine.
to everyone who needs it in the world.
One of the many uncertainties about the virus is the impact.
When the woman said uncertainties become uncertainties, the teen sound is elated, so it's a diligence.
On children. Few kids are getting sick, but some are getting very sick with a
So there is word stressing again when she said very, very.
serious syndrome believed to be linked to COVID-19.
So when she said the link, the word link, the N, and the K sounds become pronounced like the ng sounds, sounds. So link is like not nk sounds but sounds.
One of the many uncertainties about the virus is the impact on children. Few kids are getting sick, but some are getting very sick with a mysterious syndrome believed to be linked to COVID-19. Ontario's health ministry has revised its definition of COVID-19 now to include what's referred to as a multi-system inflammatory vasculitis.
Here, when there is assimilation again, when the reporter said inflammatory, the T sounds become like ch sounds. It's so
a condition linked to COVID-19. Ontario's health ministry has revised its definition of COVID-19 now to include what's referred to as a multi-system inflammatory.
So here, when the woman said inflammatory, the T sounds become like ch sounds. It's assimilation and
vasculitis, a condition similar to Kawasaki.
And also there were conditions. The T sounds didn't pronounce T but sh sounds.
Kawasaki syndrome. A direct connection between the coronavirus and this syndrome has not been confirmed.
There is word stressing again when she said not.
Doctors and patients are urged to monitor kids for symptoms including persistent fever, rash, abdominal pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. There have been reports of deaths in children.
So here there is assimilation again in the word patients. The T sounds like sh sounds. Also there is deletion in the word urged. The E sounds is elated or didn't pronounce, so it's pronounced like urged. And there is rising intonation when she said abdominal.
Associated with inflammatory illnesses in other countries, none here in Canada.
There's so much information surrounding coronavirus out there now.
Here the word questions, the key sounds like K sounds, so it's a assimilation. That's all from me. Thank you very much. I'm sorry if I have so many mistakes, Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.